Hi there, it's Bibi Cameron here, and today I'm going to show you how I emboss with gold embossing powder by Stampin' Up and how I made these little flowers with the Stampin' Up punches. They are very easy to make and they are great embellishments for cards. To start, I grabbed some pieces of Whisper White and Blushing Bright cardstock. I'm going to use Mom's Love stamp set. This is a card for Mother's Day. I know I'm making this video a little bit after of the British celebrations for Mother's Day, but it's 2 months before of the celebrations in my country, Colombia, and I think it's the same in America, in the whole continent. So I'm still on time to make this card for them. I know this is not an excuse, I'm just late. I'm so slow because it cost me a lot to make a video, but anyway, I better get back to the card making. The last couple of seconds I've been stamping on the Blushing Bright cardstock with VERSAMARK clear ink. This is a transparent ink and it's very sticky and it's ideal to use with any kind of embossing powder. I like VERSAMARK clear ink because it doesn't dry quickly, so I have plenty times to stamp different images, and also I have time to apply my embossing powder before it dries. I'm going to apply the gold emboss powder by Stampin' Up, just like that. The only thing I need to make sure is that I'm applying embossing powder all over my image. If for any reason there are parts of the image which are not covered by the powder, I just reapply the powder like I'm doing here, just like this. I check the excess powder of the image, and in cases like this I just use a brush or my fingers, and these have to be gentle, and that's it. Now I'm going to heat the embossing powder. The embossing powder is fine grains of plastic, so when I heat it up it will melt, and that's how I get that permanent golden image on my cardstock. I'm using here a heat embossing gun. This is not a hair dryer. Sometimes when you apply heat, the card tends to bend. So what I recommend is applying heat on top of the paper and also underneath the paper to keep that balance, so the cardstock will remain flat. And the results are the same. I'm applying heat underneath the paper. I can do that here because I burn my hand, but I'm applying heat in both sides of the paper to keep that cardstock flat. And that's how I get a smooth and even finish. I just love the embossing powder by Stampin' Up. We are done with the main image, and now it's time to make the flowers. I'm going to use my dictionary page stamp. This stamp is to make backgrounds. I completely adore this stamp. I use it for everything, even to make flowers. So this is the way I use it. I'm going to stamp this image on a piece of vellum using Sahara Sun ink. And I just apply the ink on top of the ruler, my stamp, just like that. And then I place on top the paper. I make pressure with my hands, with my fingers, and you can see how the ink is transferring to the paper. When I'm using another paper and not vellum, I like to put a piece of paper on top of the stamp and make pressure. I don't know how to say that in English, I'm sorry. And then it's just to make sure that the ink is transferring to that paper. And voila, that's my little sheet of paper, and I'm going to punch out some flowers. I'm using here Petite Petals Punch. It's a medium-sized punch, and it's as simple as this. And now I'm going to use the small flower in the Itty Bitty Accents pack. It's a pack of 3 punches, and this little flower comes with them. I remember the time when my mother and my aunties and I used to make cards, and to make flowers like this we use scissors. We spend hours and hours making them, but today I just use these two little punches and I made them in seconds. I placed the die cuts on a piercing mat or a thick foam, and with an embossing hand tool I just make pressure in the center to give them shape. It's just simple like that. Then I place the smaller flower on top of the other one to get something like this. They are looking good, but I think they need something extra, so I will put some flowers from gold cardstock, and to try to give some dimension. I'm making this card at the same time that I'm making this video. I have an idea about what I want to make, but I can change my mind or add something here and there. To make these flowers with the gold cardstock, I'm going to do exactly the same. This technique is going to work exactly the same with any kind of paper. I'm in a kind of awkward position here, but it doesn't matter. I can show you how I do it. I think that's better. It has a little bit of dimension and it's looking nicer. Now I'm going to paste the pieces together. I have an old habit to apply a little bit of clear glue on a piece of scrap paper, and when it's almost dry I use it to paste all my pieces together. I know it's not the professional way to do it, but I just do it like that and I have some results. The bad thing is that all my fingers are covered by glue, and that's not so nice. I'm going to use my glue dots next time. And to embellish my flowers, I'm going to use Stampin Up rhinestones. These are beautiful embellishments. They come in different sizes. I'm going to use two different sizes here. One is smaller than the other one, but both of them are beautiful. Another thing I want to say here is that Stampin Up sell the ink, the cardstock, and the accessories in coordinating colors. As I'm using Blushing Bright cardstock, I'm going to use Blushing Bright ink to give a little bit of color to my flower. So I just apply ink like this. And just apply like that. And little by little it's going to get that pinky color. This is how it's going to look. I have not pasted all the pieces together. I know this part is quite a bit boring and I cannot speed the video, so I'm going to show you part of it, part of the process. I just finished my Stampin' Up snail, so I'm using here double-sided tape. I have paste tape in the back of each layer in my card. This card has 3 layers and the base card is in Whisper White cardstock. This is the Stampin' Up snail and it's really great help when you need to paste layers of cards together. The process will be really fast. And now I'm using my glue dots, not sticky hands. That's better. Now I'm pasting my flowers, and to give a little bit of dimension and a little bit of shape, I just use my fingers, just like that. For the inside of the card, I have used Whisper White cardstock and Blushing Bright ink that coordinates with the whole project. I also have used a couple of stamps from the same stamp set. And we are done, we finished. I hope you enjoyed this video despite my terrible English, and if you want to buy any of the tools I'm using here, please visit my shop. There is a link below this video you can use to go there. You will find many amazing products and also many ideas and inspiration for your craft. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting!